Hey, I'm Ryan McCray, and welcome to another episode of Burn the Tavern Down. Today, we're talking about the zero session. It's the first session you have with your gamers before you roll the dice, before you put pencil to the paper, and we're going to talk about that, how to have a great zero session so your game goes better and smoother. Let's get rolling. Okay, a zero session. This is when you as the DM get all your players involved and you talk about what kind of game you want to have. And this is a broad term in a zero session because it's going to cover a lot of things. One of the first things it's going to do is talk about what world you're going to have this game in. So for example, let's say you're going to play Dungeons and Dragons. Are you going to play in Eberron? Are you going to play in the Forgotten Realms? Where is this game going to take place? And what that matters is there might be race and class things that you can have in one world, but not necessarily in the other worlds. Hashtag Warforged, hashtag my favorite class, hashtag true story. So you're going to want to talk about what world it's in and what that's about. The second thing you want to talk about is the tone of your game. Is it going to be lighthearted, gothic, gritty? So one way to frame this is if our campaign was a movie, what would it be like? So is it like Game of Thrones? Is it like Ocean's 11? Is it like Willow? Ooh, that's a little bit old school for some of you. It's like Willow. But what kind of world will we be living in? And you want to talk about what kind of world the players want to have. What do they want? Do they want a game that's high combat? Is it high diplomacy? Is it a lot of sneaking around? So in one game I played, I went hard to the paint as a rogue and had I wanted to gather information. I wanted a lot of context. I wanted to be the person who knows everybody. And then what happened was we just played in a forest for a very, very long time. I didn't get to use any of my skills. I didn't get to use any of my background abilities. I hadn't seen a city for months. So of course, no one knows me. I don't know them. So that session could have used a 0 hour because I'd have gone hard to the paint on that ranger. Whoop whoop. I'd have been a ranger. I just would have. So you want to have a good tone to your game, what kind of world it's going to be set in so that the players can then create characters that match what's happening. Now, when the players talk about what kind of characters they want to have, they don't necessarily have to say, well, we need a mage, we need someone who uses magic, we need a healer, we need a tank. My opinion, that's kind of gamifying the gaming, kind of min-maxing, blah. I say, let players play what they want to play. If you want to be all monks, I think that's fantastic. Maybe they all came from the same monastery. If they're all want to be rogues, because that's the soup du jour right now, fine. They could start out, maybe their thieves guild all suddenly died in their city and they're the ones going to start up their new thieves guild in town. Great. I really like when you have similar characters in class because then they can kind of branch out and develop in different ways. No two rogues, no two paladins are the same. So I really don't mind if they're the same class. Now, maybe you do, maybe they don't want to step on each other's toes, that's fine. But don't be afraid of that. If you got two monks, go for it. I say just do it. The other big concept you're going to talk about is rules. The rules of your game. Do you have any homebrew rules? Do you have anything that's going to change so as they're making their character, they know what's what? And you also want to gauge how much of the rules do they know and understand. If you've got maybe 3 players who've played for years and one person it's their first time, you're going to want to take them aside and give a little intro on the basics, just so they don't feel that they're struggling game after game after game. Help them understand what the character sheet is about, help them understand what their character can do, give them the basics, and also encourage your other players, hey, we're going to be patient, let's teach them, we're going to invite them in. We were all invited into the gaming community and playing. Let's keep that going. The other part you're going to want to do in a zero session is logistics. How often do you play? Weekly? Every other week? I would get it on the schedule at least 3 sessions in advance, because we don't want the Dungeons & Dragons game to be, well, if anything better comes up, I'm just going to do that. No, you want to have that time aside so people can set it aside, so people can know about it and get that logistics going. You want to have a shared calendar, you might want to do that. The other thing is, hey, do we play offline? Kind of online. Anyway, do you play when the game is not in session? So can the DM ask questions? Can you do little side quests through texting or a Discord channel or a Zoom chat? Zoom. But hey, that's the world we live in now. Do you want to do it offline? Because maybe they don't have the time. I've got one player, he has 5 kids under the age of 8. 5 kids. 5 kids, bro. What? So yeah, he plays a little bit offline because he'll just want to play whenever, because he might not be able to make a session once in a while, so he wants as much as possible. You're going to also have to establish, hey, where are we playing? What time? Who brings snacks? What does cleanup look like? And I've said before, hey, you're going to want to have like a half hour before the game starts so people can chit-chat, catch up, get set up, get their stuff going, because at the core of role-playing, I believe it's about community, and we're there to get to know one another, have some fun, and join in a game. With a zero session, you're going to be able to clear up a lot of obstacles that come your way. You're going to have characters who are involved, characters that understand the world. You're going to have players that show up on time, and players that bring snacks. Let's be honest. Love a good snack. That's about all I've got for this session of Burn the Tavern Down. If you would, please, oh please, like and subscribe, and I've built a little guide on this topic. I would love for you to download it. If you do, you get to be in my little newsletter club where I send you a newsletter every week just about more topics like this, and I announce videos, little contests I do, all sorts of fun stuff. So just like, subscribe, and download the guide, and I'm going to see you guys later.